Some Tide notes, a must-win weekend for Alabama baseball, and they take care of business battling the weather and Mississippi State. The Tide gets a 3-game sweep. That means that if the SEC tournament started today, Alabama would be in 8th place. They take 8 teams. Softball continues to roll, a sweep at Arkansas, and congratulations to the Alabama gymnastics team as another Super 6 and a 3rd-place national finish for Sarah and David Patterson's club. Time to go back to the phones, and Randy in Piedmont is with us. Randy, welcome into the program.
Hey, fellas. It's been a long time.
All right, Randy.
Yeah, I was wondering if the NCAA was going to try to give us any help with the scheduling this year with all the teams that had bye weeks before they played us.
Right, the open date question, Randy. Well, actually, that would be the SEC. That's not an NCAA situation. These are SEC schedules that we're talking about with all the SEC teams having bye weeks. There was a lot of discussion about that, but I'm going to tell you this, Rodney, the other teams' athletic directors, I don't think have too much interest in giving Alabama relief. I think the opinion is they just won the national championship. We're not going to go out of our way to help them. So I wouldn't hold my breath waiting on that.
Well, first of all, it should have never been scheduled that way, let's be honest. And I think it certainly is unfair. No other team has that disadvantage, if you will. And I think it was certainly a bad scheduling mistake on the SEC office's part.
Well, just down the road from Piedmont, Eddie is in Oxford. He's with us tonight. Eddie, welcome in. How are you?
Everything's great. Roll Tide.
I hear you. Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, I would like to know if any of the coaching staff or anybody involved with the athletic program has talked about having Ingram and Richardson on the field at the same time this
Thanks,
year.
Eddie. We got that question a couple of weeks ago. I don't think Coach Saban's commented on it, but it certainly would be scary, in my opinion, for an opposing defense. If you look back there and both those guys in the backfield, I wouldn't be shocked if we see it at some point.
No, and I can't remember if we saw it a time or two last year, Gary, when they went to the Wildcat with both of them on the field at the same time, but I think it's a possibility. Would not be surprised to see more of that this year.
All right, good questions, and glad that we could help you out with some answers tonight. Well, stay tuned. Former Alabama golfer Jason Bone has another big victory. We'll have that story when Tider Insider TV continues. And finally, former Bama golfer Jason Bone was once known as the kid that won $1 million hole-in-one at the University of Alabama. Cost him his eligibility with the Tide. Of course, I'd take the $1 million too. And on Sunday, he won more than that with his second PGA Tour title, $1,100,000 plus, as he was the wire-to-wire winner at the Zurich Classic in New Orleans. He's the first wire-to-wire winner at that tournament since Calvin Peete back in 1986. He finished with birdies on 3 of his last 4 holes, including that shot on 18 to clinch it, Ronnie. Look at that, 1 inch from going in the hole. He wins by 2 strokes over Jeff Overton, and after the round, the golfer who is known as an excitable guy, if you've ever seen that hole-in-one video, you know what I'm talking about, then he let some of his emotions show.
I wasn't going to do this, buddy. What I was going to do is say, yeah, and give you a big I knew if I stayed patient, stayed within myself, it was going to happen. So I'm thrilled.
5th pro win, 2nd on the PGA Tour. Good guy, good going for Jason Bone. Well, don't forget, if you missed any of tonight's show, you can find it on our website, WVUATV.com. We'll also have a replay on the TV station tonight at 10:35. We're headed to Buddies tonight. Tonight's Buddies night, and we can't wait. Haven't had that good Buddies cooking in a couple of weeks. We'll be there in just a little bit over in Northport. For Rodney Orr, I'm Gary Harris. Thanks for watching. Good night.